What has Nick Dutch got for you today? Well, I've been doing this whole series of like 3 card readings because that's what I like doing. I am of course Nick Dutch from the website nickdutchtarot.com, and also available on keen.com and Fortunica, as well as on Kumar and The Circle and a few other, I'm just around. I'm about there. I'm Nick Dutch. That's what I do. And one of the things I do for my living is, of course, I'm a tarot reader. But this is not a tarot deck. This is the one I've shown you before on this channel. It's the 40 Servants deck, which was created by Tommy Kelly, who's an amazing artist who has a strong interest in all the wonderful things which he describes as being woo-woo, which is what we all play around with in this little corner of reality, this little corner of the media, this little corner of YouTube or the internet. It's what we play with because we like it, we're curious, and it's fun, okay? So here's your 3 card reading. Completely unrehearsed, thoroughly shuffled deck. This could be for you, this could be for a family member, it could be for a friend, or it could just be a moment when you can just chill out, contemplate, look at the imagery, look at the artwork, and see whether it communicates to you something. Okay, 3 card reading. Could this be relevant to you? It might be. If it is, of course, then comments in the comment section. If it isn't quite relevant to you, don't worry, comments in the comment section. As long as you're polite, I don't mind, alright? If it's relevant to something else going on in your life, so be it. So what have we got here? The Seer, the Guru, and the Witch. As you can see, Tommy Kelly's provided little signals which you can draw relatively easily for your contemplations and meditations on those particular symbols, on those characters. So what does a Seer do? They try and find things out. What does a Guru do? It takes practice to put things into effect, possibly more of an artistic kind of like attitude, because the guru, in inverted commas, is someone who would pick up skills with the passage of time and refine them and explain how they're progressing with their wisdom, with their experience in this subject, so that they can then do more good for themselves and for other people. Okay? And then you've got the witch. What does the witch mean? Well, traditionally the word witch refers to wisdom. Alright? But is perceived in modern day spiritual language as being almost like a spiritual school or an approach to spiritual thought from a particular direction. Okay? So let's try and put this together into one kind of like short story which might be relevant to yourself. The only reason you could be looking out for something new or interesting is because you don't know. There's something there which you don't quite know, but you're trying to find out. Maybe this is research through, online research. Maybe it's through just contemplation, sitting still, thinking things through, thinking through everything that you've learned, trying to come to good quality conclusions, trying to see where the truth is, as opposed to where the truth is not. Maybe the seer is helping you to look at your perceptions, your understandings, your cognition, and also the way that you are seeing things. Just like if you're flipping through a comic book, you'll be perceiving the imagery in the story in one way, whereas if you're watching a movie, you'll be perceiving and understanding the imagery another way. But also the perception, the observation is one thing, but the way in which you think and process it is another. Maybe the seer is doing both simultaneously. Maybe there's something there to do with the inner journey in a different way. Maybe this is approaching the inner journey from a point of view which you had not previously contemplated before, and therefore there's a sense of novelty or the new suddenly appearing here. Now, with this sense of the new or the novel or the interesting or the different perspective, what are you going to do with it? Well, one would guess you would try to find a way of applying it, because getting knowledge which you can't actually use might possibly be a bit of a waste of your time. But getting knowledge which you can use, or indeed helps other people to see things better, could be a good thing. Maybe the seer in this particular case is actually more like a prophet, providing wisdom to others so that they can then work things out for themselves. But the guru, on the other hand, that's someone who has a certain quantity of mastery after a period of time. I think there's some definition as a guru is someone who's done something for, I don't know, like 1,000 hours or something. There's a certain concept as to what a guru is. But it does imply experience, fortifying knowledge, and refining ideas and knowledge so that past ideas which are irrelevant or not true can then sort of like go by the wayside. And that which is true and is useful can then be put into effect. There's a feeling of gear wheels, a sense of mechanics, a sense of motion, a sense of energy associated with the guru, which you wouldn't have with the seer. So this seems like a process. Alright? You've got to gain clarity about what your perceptions are prior to being able to take action. You've got to gain clarity about what you've already learned so that you can then reject that which is useless, and sometimes even rejecting the people who are useless. Alright, so that you can then bring more positive people, positive ideas into your life. Has there been a situation whereby you felt that there was a group of people that you could get on with, and then you suddenly realised, no, I'm a different element? Or maybe someone gave you some instruction which you thought was good initially, and I thought, ooh, they were interesting, their ideas are interesting. But then with further in-depth investigation, you realise that there's something not quite right about that. But you still could look back at the previous time in your life and gain something from it from a learning and self-developmental point of view. Okay? I think this is to do with changing your social circle, changing your friendship circle, changing the people you're involved in play with as well as work or study, and trying to refine things so it matches where you want to go better. Thinking about not only your prosperity, but also the prosperity of what you can bring into other people's lives and into the outer world. Then finally, the witch. Obviously, for some people would see that word as being rather scary. Obviously, just look at the background of this video. Am I scared by it? No, I didn't think you would think that either. Okay, don't worry about it. But then what is the character of the witch? Well, what is witchcraft in this particular case? Well, it obviously isn't what you see in the movies. It obviously isn't what you see on television. It obviously isn't any of that rubbish. It isn't what people have written about in fantasy books, is it? No. It's something to do with a contemplative, intuitive way of exploring reality. Alright? Trying to put different specific techniques into effect for the purposes of creating some change of perspective and understanding. It then therefore overlaps with the seer, and therefore there's a feeling of cyclical progress within this. Starting there, going to that stage, back again to there, to there, to there. It was almost as if this is descriptive of how you are refining your mind, your attitudes, your views, and how yourself and other people could grow in terms of wisdom. Maybe this is the way in which you're dealing with your traumas or past issues. Maybe this is the way in which you're working on your self-development when it comes to skill development for work. There's a sense of process, a sense of the cyclical going on here intellectually and emotionally and perceptually, building you up to something better with each and every single subsequent stage. Realizing, of course, that to a certain extent you're evolving your ideas, and some ideas need to go by the wayside and you need to go back a few steps to start all over again. So it's instructing kind of how you are building your own personal empire. Okay, your empire of understanding, your empire of knowledge, your empire of spirituality, your empire of wisdom, as well as, of course, your career, maybe. If that makes sense, let me know. If it doesn't, also let me know. In the meantime, click the bell, give me a thumbs up, remember to subscribe, and there'll be more stuff coming out from me soon, and I'll be doing something maybe a little bit different shortly, in a slightly different format, slightly different way of doing things. And I do want to have some real heart-to-heart spiritual conversations with you about some of the things I've been thinking about, magic and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned, and I'll speak to you in a bit. God bless you all in whatever way you analyze that word or use it. Okay, chill out, peace, love and harmony.